let's move back into the game, Harry. NIP a map up in the series. Sprout backs up against the wall, but we saw they were able to take, you know, a pretty reasonable fight against Vitality on this map yesterday. So, yeah, I don't want to count them out. That being said, NIP look warmed up. They don't look like the mess that they were yesterday, you know, getting absolutely reamed out by Heroic. But regardless, fast play, confident stuff from NIP. Faven gonna stop the first, but immediate trade here. Oh, Plops gears his back turned, and Faven will not stop. 3 kills on this site. Lecro's got to save the day here with a Glock, but players are coming in from heaven and they are dunking him down. It's just Forest. He's not been spotted. He could be anywhere.
Yeah, but they know that someone had to be throwing that utility, so you've got an idea as to where he could be if you Sprout, and he doesn't have armor either. Forest, this is not an easy clutch in any respect, and not with these positions. Look at where they're set up on the Sprout side. 2 players up on the rafters, 1 down in the site. Forest, he's going to try and wrap into heaven. Now, he has been undetected thus far. Spitty, however, is looking this way. 1 shot, all that required from Forest to get rid of the first. Now onto that USP and a reposition. Not peeking in from the heavens. Instead, he's going to try and get out through Mini, making noise, and that's got the attention of Searson over here on the left. Forest, will he be ready for this? No, and now he's trapped. He's stuck. They try and push into him, and Faven will complete the pistol round with 4 kills to his name. Now, the saddest thing for NIP there is you see Faven line up 3 fantastic shots onto the first 3 players into the site. The reason they're the first 3 in is those are all the armored players for NIP. The other 2 were so late because they're lining up utility. So you've immediately lost the players that you put all the stock in that round, all on the back of one man's actions.
Yeah, great shots from Faven regardless, and NIP down and out in the pistol round. It is CT side though. You would expect Sprout to kick things off quite strongly. NIP, no investment at all, not a dollar spent. Citizens playing Garage with the PT50, that's real ballsy. I mean, not much risk to these Glocks, but at the same time, oh my, you got to hit some banging shots, and well, he's already done that. Twist is gone. Incredible that Twist even gets the dink off before he departs this round. Come on. Yes. Oh, this is great fun. I've never seen that fight, you know, go down in a pro game, but 2 kills from Searson in the yard. The SMG gets aggressive, and NIP 1 by 1 will fall. Lecro, don't stall this round out, buddy. It's a 1-on-5 with a Glock. They're not even pushing yards, so it's got to eventually go in.
I mean, if you're Lecro, you're looking at this, there's still 45 seconds on that clock before he's going to do anything, so there's always that one guy in matchmaking who does this.
I'm sure they're using this to discuss next round,
stuff.
right?
Yeah. No, I'm not. We're not actually flaming Lecro.
Although if they're not using it to discuss it, Lecro, what the hell are you doing, buddy?
He really believes in his Glock work.
The thing is, he's going to spend all this time clearing angles, and the second he gets into a fight, you know what happens?
He dies instantly. Yeah.
There we go. Nice round from Sprout. 2-0. Flawless as well. That means they'll be running bonus as NIP come in with AKs and Kriegs. But we saw how lethal Sprout were back on Mirage on that CT side when they picked up the Kriegs from NIP, who brought them in so early, even into round 2 after losing the pistol. So if Sprout can get those upgrades here after playing bonus, that could be very, very good for them. Searson's gone straight in with the AWP, so some ballsy buying coming through for Sprout anyway, and you've really got to hope that they're able to close out the round, otherwise that AWP's going to get gifted over. Taking it up in main, trying to watch the door. NIP immediately putting pressure outside. Haven't taken any deep control. Those smokes are coming down. Yesterday, we saw them extinguished by Heroic every time. So it's nice to see NIP delaying the utility this time. Not giving Sprout the opportunity to break their wall with the mollies. Not that there are many incendiaries intact here for the CT side, just on Spitty. And Dennis has gone down lower now as these smokes have let NIP send 2 players crossing. They've hung around, though, still looking to fight outside, and that AWP could be a real deal breaker here for Sprout.
Yeah, Lecro and Forest, they decide to head down through Secret, not turning their attention towards outside anymore. Already 2 players down here for Sprout.
This is not a B play.
Yeah,
though.
Forest has gone back up towards top connector. They're leaving Letcro here to try and sell this fake, and crossing into the yard, Searson able to remove Twist. You're hoping that Forest can maybe find some sort of timing to deal with Searson down here in Hell. Maybe he can creep up, and Searson does not seem aware of this possibility. He's held that angle for the entire round. I mean, there's only 20 seconds left, so time's becoming a real problem here for NIP. They need a kill, and there it is. Forest, like a ghost, like a ghoul, appears in the back line of Sprout, and they will be allowed to get this bomb down with seconds to spare. NIP, masterful time work in this round, time management. Spiddy and Dennis, all that remain. And they're pretty much locked out of this round. With Heaven being held, Spiddy can't rotate up. Forest is not even in Heaven anymore. He's holding Secret. It's a very heads-up play from Forest to get down and deal with Searson there in Hell.
Spiddy's eventually got to leave. He's got to go either ramp or CT. Forest is making sure that he cannot go CT. This position is completely cutting off the spawn for Spiddy to save. He's gonna grab the AWP, but this will make noise, and Forest is going to hear it. That bomb continues to be a threat. Dennis getting killed after, and Spiddy does get away with that AWP. Oh, last second swap. He's timed it perfectly. I thought the bomb would be a bit of a threat there, but gets away with 30 points of health. Great round from NIP though. I love the idea, right? They force Dennis down onto B by just taking Secret, and one player really sells a fake there by throwing utility. The whole time, that bomb and another player is sitting outside in the yard by main. NIP were just waiting for the right time to split into that A site. All coming off the back of that wrap that kills Searson. So there's a first round missed smoke though. That was a rebound in front of Redbox, and it's gone wrong. That means Keto can now take control. He's got Spiddy here in Secret as well. This is a big outside control round from Sprout. I love the adjustment after losing a yard round with their passive setup and very minimal information. Well, this time that won't be the problem. NIP really taking their time, but they do look like they want to go outside still. Great flashes from Sprout, and Lecro starting to move in.
He's the point man in this outside play, and Keto will take one to the dome. Dennis has got a gap under this smoke. Him and Spiddy, they've got a crossfire set up here. NIP, they try and run the gauntlet. Somehow Plopsky's been able to get by. Dennis, all these smokes are faded, and yet still the fights are going down, and Nip winning them out reasonably decisively. It's Searson from down here in Hell once again, who is just throwing that spanner into the works. Oh dear. It's only Forest and Plopsky left. The 2 low HP players. Rez tried to explore the A site, and I mean, I guess he gets them the information at least that there could only be one player here at B at the very, very most. Searson missing that shot. Bested by Forest. Faven last man up, and he's desperately trying to dispatch of Plopsky. Now getting down into the bomb site and will land that damage. 2 players to find, and they're able to double peek him. Nice work from Plopsky and Forest. They play that 2v2 almost to perfection, right? They get that first kill onto Searson, and then the immediate decision from Plopsky to barrel down into the site so that he can trade with his low HP teammate. They don't even need the trade, though. They're bigger than that. 2-2 now as NIP tie things up within the first 4 rounds.
Searson has a really nice read that NIP are going down towards that lower site once he gets a kill outside and spots no one else, but he just moves too early. He gets into position, he holds the angle, no one comes out, and then he starts to move right as NIP make their way into B. If he's stuck there for a few more seconds, he gets away with a kill and probably wins that round for Sprout, but now, as a result, they are down on pistols. Faven's on a little Zeus, and Lecro, he's holding for this. He knows they're coming his way. Won't be able to get a kill. Keto actually gets out of dodge, but Lecro's getting sandwiched from lower as well. He's got players from all sides, and Dennis will take him down. That's an AK, but NIP now spotting 4 players on that lower bomb site, or 3 rather. They saw at least 3. There were 4 there, and now they can just take over A as a result. The smokes are down. Molly to cut off a Heaven rotation, and while Sprout can go for any kind of crazy rotate they want through the T spawn, likely going to see this AK saved and NIP locking in a third round. These USPs should not be able to retake A. So just time to hold on to your weapons if you're Sprout.
I'm imagining.
What are you
rather.
imagining, Harry?
There we go. Nailed it.
When will you remember that you've turned your mic off? Because you've done this every game.
I remember it 50% of the time.
I wouldn't say that.
Oh. Yeah, I remember it 50% of the time. And then I just get too eager. I get too swept up in the game. But Hugo, what I was going to say is this is where I imagine we see that AWP come out now for NIP. I've been waiting for it. I've been waiting to see if Twist is going to make that investment. They've got the cash for it. They had players die, so you will be reinvesting. And this is where maybe we get to see that Twist versus Searson gameplay that we've been looking for. Well,
yeah, there's a chance, but the same way, you know, it's not like Searson's been a problem with the AWP. He's had it, but he's not, you know, been getting more than a kill around. And in addition to that, NIP, their outside takes have been, you know, involving so much utility and so regimented that there's really not a requirement for it all.
No, that's very true, right? It's been working without one. And so maybe it'll be when we see them get their first stint of, you know, losses on this T side. Maybe they look to that as a solution. But right now, things are working out as is. So they will just keep the rifles up. Plopsky with the Krieg outside. Pretty ideal weapon for it.
Another smoke wall for Nip.
I mean, that's the thing as well. The Krieg is so strong now. I feel like you could even make a case at T side. You don't really need the AWP for outside. Like the Krieg is pretty damn decent at that job. One of the only angles I think that maybe bests you is that little pixel angle that you see players play down towards Hell.
Like a one bullet angle. You've got one shot. And Plopsky, he's got one shot here to get, but Dennis is quicker on the trigger. 50 seconds, NIP have lost their B lurk, their B fake, it seems, with 4 players up in the lobby ready to burst A, but Sprout, you know, they've still got 2 players dedicated here in this 4-on-4. Pretty sizable hold on the upper bomb site. Searson with the AWP, and Faven up above. They haven't used the big molly, and they will come to regret it. Forrest has dropped Faven in response, but still a man down our NIP with low health as well. Plant is in. Molly should keep Searson back. He's got no smoke for that. There's no utility other than this one flashbang on Dennis, and he probably doesn't want to give away the fact that he's coming in from vents. NIP have successfully regained control towards the lobby. Dennis, he's being held right now. Lecro's got his eyes on the vents, and this is a very hard position to come up from, but the timing is so good, and both T's immediately killed as Dennis times that to perfection. Sprout defuse in third round. That AWP from Searson does have grave complications for NIP.
And perhaps critically, that's one of the first times we don't see NIP get such a strong foothold towards outside, right? The one player who went down through Secret was instantly dealt with. And so NIP having to fall back into something a bit more standard there into the A site, being a man down. Sprout getting on top of things towards this outside portion of the map, and they're going to need to continue to keep that up here as NIP. It looks like they might go back to this outside take. Players over at ramp as well, so I was going to say this could be a B split, but they don't have that bomb. I imagine they're looking to get control of ramp for him. Spiddy's done a good job though of keeping them at bay.
Yeah, Lecro's also crossed down on B, but Keto taking down Rez as well, and even Searson pushing the hut. No fear for Sprout, and I love this aggressive style. It's completely caught NIP with their pants down. 2 players left up in the yard, and Faven has that cross to Garage, so Lecro going to be in for a world of hurt. Searson's even getting reboosted back on rafters, and Lecro, he gets shot in the back here. Surely he does. That almost, you know, was a chance for him to cross, but Faven spots his leg. Could never show too much thigh. Forrest in a 1-on-5. This would be one for the ages, Harry.
Yeah, the problem he's really going to have is that there's no one... The one player who's alone, the one vulnerability that Sprout have is maybe Dennis over at ramp. That's like the one way in. If he finds Faven, sure, he gets 1 kill here. But that immediately prompts a rotation from Dennis towards outside, who's going to be aware. Forrest, last time, obviously, he was in this sort of clutch scenario. He played over here towards Hell and Heaven. This time, he's cleared the angle. Will he be ready for Dennis, who's currently in position at ramp, holding that far right swing? And he will not. So Sprout solidify that fourth. NIP running out of steam in these last 2 rounds. Money's also getting to be a bit of a problem now for the Swedes.
This is when we will consider to see the AWP, and whenever they can next afford it at least. Won't be here, I don't think. But NIP starting to slow down these rounds, and they are getting dealt with, you know, aggressive hands from Sprout pushing in through, you know, the lobby, the hut. So NIP would love to have, you know, AWP to just hold down, play a slow default. However, as you said, Money again being a problem here, they've got to go for pistols.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the wall of smokes is fine from NIP for them to be going for it, but the problem they're having is when they get into secret, they've been losing those fights. And Sprout, they've realized, okay, if you're going to be taking outside in these rounds, we'll take inside. You know, we'll push the hut, we'll get the info. Please don't keep walking. My word. Yeah. Oh, that was worrying. But yeah, they do pick up the pace. They break into a light jog, very leisurely down towards secret. But yeah, they haven't been able to get past this choke point, and that there has just meant that this method to taking outside is being countered by Sprout now in a bunch of different ways. So I do feel like Twist getting him onto the AWP might be a nice way to maybe go about finding a pick in a different way for NIP.
Ooh. It's a rough angle for Faven there. He's going to just back up, knowing Popsky wants the hunt, and he'll get it. Deg out now for the young Swede, a 1-on-3. He'll need the ace. It's looking unrealistic, and the door opens with the grenade, and that blows it towards him. Not how he wanted that to go down at all. It's going to be another round for Sprout. CT side looking like a wall right now. Great rotation down towards B. They typically only have 1 player there, but Searson, he spots, you know, he kills 1, and they spots at least 2 more going down towards B minimum. So heavy rotate there from Sprout. And yeah, we haven't seen NIP dedicate Secret in a round like that with, you know, so many players before. They've typically just sent 1 or 2 down and not always committed. So I'd like to see NIP go for an actual round where they dedicate towards taking Secret and trying to work their way towards B, rather than just using it as a fake and a method to cause rotations and adjust the setups on the top site for Sprout. Look at this aggression, though. Dennis has no fear in this round. Forrest is holding it, and he will get that kill. Finally, a pick for NIP. Finally, the slow default pays off, and Sprout's aggression is countered.
The AWP has moved into position alongside Spiddy here at the ramp. It's very, very common that you see players play on these rafters where Searson is now, because you can just fade out. You can just fall down after taking the first shot. However, with this double hold, they might have to stick around a little bit more. It's actually now just Searson here. Spiddy rotating into hell to try and help him, but they both get caught. What? They both get dropped. Ramp controls taken for NIP. And it feels like the timing just is slightly off there with that rotation from Spiddy back into the A site. I think that was the contact from NIP. Well, the flashes, sorry, going over, just trying to sell that fake. Faven at least has removed Plopsky from the equation in this round.
He doesn't even care about guns. He's just throwing grenades all over the place. How was his weapon even out in time after that repeat from Forrest? I don't know. Very, very good play. And NIP, bit hamstrung in this 2v2. Rez is stuck on the site. He's got to take a fight. Someone's going to peek him. He can't be hidden from both angles at once. And Faven will win that duel. Letcro with the AWP, throwing it out. Just trying to take that AK to win this clutch. But if only he had the AWP, would have been a kill there. Keto's going to get that frag, and that retake will be won by Sprout. The AWP, is it saved? It is. They've rumbled it. So Defuse can come in, and a 6th round for Sprout. This CT side, again, coming up well for the young Germans. NIP, they were back and forth at the beginning, but now they're having trouble even getting into sites.
I mean, huge stuff as well in the retake, right? They were 2 versus 3 on the Sprout side. So this is actually one of the rare exceptions where they weren't just beating them heads up before they get into a bomb site, right? This one was the advantage of NIP, and Sprout still rise to the occasion. So now we're starting to have those individual performers, the individual elements also stepping up alongside some sound decision-making from Sprout. And That's troublesome. Also, that molly's been used to make not just a gap in the smokes. That's not a wall.
Yeah, I don't know why Lecro takes those fights rather than just dropping down to be there. Far safer option. He got an opportunity to get across, but that's exactly what Heroic were doing yesterday, Harry. These early mollies to stop that.
Well, fast A play, favored from atop the hut, is instantly shut down. It's Forrest and Plopsky on the entries. They might even get this follow-up.
You okay?
That was a little... I thought that was going to land. Rez it like he was going to get 4x3 to death.
I think it was the
gun model, yeah, more than anything.
Like, he was in like the center of the screen there. Yeah. That's no 4x3. You're playing
like
1x2.
Yeah, 1x2. Everyone's favorite. You think they're wide on 4x3? Let me tell you.
Boy, are these T's tall right now. Or CTs rather.
Would it make them tall? It'd make them thin.
1x2 would make them
like
tall.
thick. It'd make them thick and short.
Well, we did 1x2 instead of
2x1.
So that's why I said
they would be tall as
They'd be
anything.
very tall and very skinny. Maybe too skinny.
Yeah. And it would still be a very restrictive view model. So yeah, I mean, not ideal. Searson's able to hold on to the AWP. NIP, they finally... he's not able to hold on to the AWP.
I hate it when people take fights when they're trying to save a gun. You know, if especially in those last few seconds, if you know you can save the gun, save the gun. Why? You know, the value of getting one kill there is never worth the risk of losing your AWP, especially considering how good Searson has been. Getting picks in the yard, getting kills on ramp when he rotates. And, well, now Sprout, they're going to lose that big old green, Harry. Logo might be making up for it, but no AWP. I didn't quite catch their money either way, but a tactical war's coming through.
And we've seen, I think it's particularly with the NIP squad, whenever they've called these in, or whenever there has been tactical pauses, I've always liked the adjustments, the input that Pitt has been able to have along to the rest of the squad. One thing to note is NIP are 4 rounds up. Oh, sorry, they've got 4 rounds on the board. This is with Twist still being 1-9 on the scoreboard.
This was Nuke from yesterday. This was the same thing. Twist just not being able to get off to a good start for NIP.
Rez at least able to alleviate some of the early pressure that Dennis tried to put onto this round by getting that trade down here in secret. And this is really one of the first times we've seen that trade kill come in. Usually it's been the case that Sprout have won these fights out, and with that kill going down, and now Searson following up, this one does not feel all too doable for poor Rez and Twist. I think Sprout, you know, they've really just wisened up to this secret play, and they've been, you know, using something that NIP are trying to throw in to give them an advantage. They're just using that against them, right? They're saying, okay, you want to send 1 or 2 players towards secret? We'll just put 3 there, shut that down. And then what could you really do in the round? I mean, Twist alone here, 2 kills to his name now after he doubled it in this round. 1 versus 3, 40 seconds left on the clock and no utility to work with. Spiddy's even taking this aggressive ramp position. If he gets the bomb down, that's pretty good.
He should.
And he's been given the site, so Sprout are just playing for retake here. Knowing where to plant is a tricky one, though. He has no information. For all he knows, they could be in hut, they could be in heaven, they could be outside, and at least he spotted this man here. He's been able to win that. Twist, he was the 1 kill Andy heading into this round. Now, alone in this clutch, they tap the bomb to try and bait the peak, but Twist doesn't give it up. Instead, Searson will deliver death, and that's Sprout finding their 7th round. Not letting Twist get away with the clutch.
Yeah, we have just seen very similar rounds from NIP, you know, since being on this T side, and I think a lot of that is they've been having success in the yard and getting players down towards B, and that's just been, you know, baiting them into doing it again. We haven't seen one proper upper exec with, you know, full utility. We haven't really seen much ramp taking either from NIP, at least not more than, you know, the occasional player feeding out. I'd love to see, you know, more from the Ninjas, but, you know, yard is a position they have had success in. And again, going back for these wall of smokes, that molly lands early from Dennis, but the smokes are late for NIP this time. They won't get caught out. Thank God. Seems all too familiar. just Spitty on ramp this time, and NIP, I feel like they are interested. They've taken the bomb back into the lobby, rather, and only one player on top of the silo, that's Twist. Right now, Sprout have no info in Yard. They've just completely forfeited it and sent Searson down towards B with the AWP. That's at least given NIP more room on the upper bomb site if they want to go for an execute, and that does seem to be the play.
Yeah, throwing all this utility in, they've got to put it to good use, and no one's really looking all too blind or forced out of position inside of this site. Forest trying to do it on aim alone. And that's what it's going to take now from him and Twist in this 2-on-4. Twist tried to get in through Mini and might be able to deliver the killing blow onto Faven. That's something they can maybe look towards as an edge into this round. Forest, last man up. The vent wrap should solidify this if Spitty can't, and he can. So Sprout locking in an 8th there. And that's one of the problems. If you set the precedent of throwing those outside smokes, and then in the one round that you don't put any smokes towards outside, it was very easy, very telegraphed for old mate Searson to begin a rotation back once they'd faded.
Yeah, I mean, just the one-dimensional upper push as well, right? Like just throwing a smoke in main and a molly to CT vent and a couple of flashes, that's not really enough. You need that hot molly. You need that big molly. Obviously, Nip might not know it just yet, as that has only come about recently. But even the hot molly, where is it? Because, Sprout have played on top of the hut and on top of the rafters every single time. NIP, yeah, just not clearing out those positions. And, of course, they're going to get mowed down, even with Searson down on B. And he's got another gap, but the flash is good for a second, and he doesn't react for the other kill. So NIP get a couple of players down on B. But the good thing here is because of that gap, well, Sprout now know how many players are down on B. Man, these outside smokes for Nip really are both great and also the undoing of their T side at the same time. Even if they land, which they don't often land because of these Molotovs, there's always a caveat, there's always a gap, there's always information for Sprout, and they will take that every single day of the week. Dennis dropping off, the ramp split coming through, and that's a 1-for-1 trade. That's an opening, an opportunity here for Nip. Searson having to give them a passage down towards B. Dennis can try and deny a plant, but he's got no teammates nearby. This is the best spot Nip have been in on this lower site in quite some time.
And it just got even better. With that kill coming in onto Dennis, the bomb can now go down. They've locked that in at the very least. They sit a man up. Post-plant, they've had some time to solidify these positions. They've spotted the foot of Faven and they've tagged him up. He's going to drop that flash. Will he check the close angle? He anticipates the bait and switch. It's actually the bait to switch things up and shut down the man in question. However, this round still on running in the background. Keto trying to get into the site, has a good read as to where Rez might be, finds him with an aid, taps on the bomb. Rez. Oh my word, he's missed the shot, but there we go. Now onto the CZ, and he'll get shut down by Searson.
He's so good in these close-range AWPing situations. Searson constantly bailing Sprout out in the post-plants, in the retakes, and that's not what you would expect with the AWP. Think back to that round just 2 ago where, it's Twist up in Squeaky, and Searson, no armor, just takes the fight with the AWP and wins it as well, consistently shutting down these post-plants for Sprout.
Man, what I would just really like to see is, because I feel like Searson right now for Sprout is one of the reasons that they're doing so well, right? He watches outside. If he doesn't see smokes, he can comm for rotations. He can comm for players to head towards the inside. In this round, he's already here at Mini, ready and roaring to go.
Missed main smoke. What is going on here with the Ninjas? It's feeling like the game versus Heroic yesterday. It's just the most glaring errors.
It's very one-dimensional right now as well, right? Like it's very... Ooh, hang on a second, Forest. We'll pause this one, because there is one man who might care about the legacy this team tries to leave behind. Forest, 1v2, 3 kills to his name. And 2 more still to find, Spitty and Keto. Keto is up in heaven, and that might be this first point of contact for Forest and potentially his last in this round. He's got to land a blinding shot if he wants to manage this, and he'll spot Keto in the heavens. Now he at least knows where one of these players are. We know that Forest has loved this hell position. So many times he's been able to find impact here.
Is he even going to take it or just go straight down to ramp, though? He knows Keto's still stuck up on the A bomb site. There's no one lower right now. Spiddy's also on A, so if he goes down towards B through ramp, he has found a very good path to success. This is a more than winnable round if you can just try and isolate these two separate engagements. Can't afford to take too long checking this bomb site. That plant will be afforded to him. Ooh. Was that heard? Doesn't seem like it. But that will be. Plants going in, and now Sprout begin their rotation down towards the lower site. They have kits. It's all on Forest now. Ace or bust.
He'll decide to stay inside of the bomb site up on the rafters and loses that initial fight onto Keto. Could only sustain one shot's worth of damage, so he instantly gets toppled. Try as he might to make something of that round for NIP. It will just be another on the scoreboard for Sprout. They're looking for the orb.
Where's it gone?
Well, they weren't able to grab that. It shouldn't matter all too much for Sprout. They can still invest. That does leave a couple of players here and there. I think actually, no, their teammates could drop. So yeah, it's all good. I think it was Dennis. He can throw an AWP over to his team. Tactical pause for Nip now. And 5-10 half, that's pretty run-of-the-mill. I think 4-11, that's a little worse than average.
Yeah. Worse than what you want. It's your map pick here. You're a map up in the series, and NIP are getting T-boned here by Sprout. It's been a very good CT side from the Germans. And what's stopping them from getting one more? Well, the money, at least. NIP are going to have it for the final round of the half. That bomb plant, plus the ever-growing loss bonus. Well, it's already capped. No up for Twist, and I mean, it is just Forest. Look at that scoreboard. He's top of the entire server, Harry. He's got 17 kills. The next best is 8 on his team.
I do wonder how many generations of NIP is Forest just going to be the main man. And also this round, yeah, they just try and run the gauntlet, no smokes. I think maybe anticipating that, as we've been saying, if Searson doesn't see those smokes, normally he repositions a bit, right, switches things up. But that doesn't mean they're just going to completely discount outside.
Considering how much NIP have gone there, there'd be no reason to. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit different, right? Because it's like we've seen them use the not throwing smokes well in a few of these rounds where they've had Plopsky get on the hut roof and drop down and be undetected, right? But that's very, very different. You're not just running the gauntlet open to heaven, secret, garage, main. That's why these are all the angles you're open to. Hell, CT, if you try and make it across. This round now, NIP, they've really got to dig deep if they want that 5-10 scoreline to become a reality. And it's not looking good. Forest once more throwing into an impossible clutch, 15 points of health. The only man to find a kill in this round, and one of the only men to really get kills for NIP in this entire game thus far.
Oh.
He'll get flashed off. He's going to try and go through the door, and Dennis is just holding it. Sprout, they close out this CT half in a phenomenal fashion. But cast your minds back to Mirage. It was a similar story there. And we know how that one ended up. So let's see. Nuke, it's NIP's map pick. Things may be falling apart. The CT side, will it hold any treasures for them? Or is this going to go all three? We'll be back after a quick break to bring you the action.
Chasing all my dreams now lately. No matter if I try too hard, nothing's ever enough, baby. No, I don't care too much. I don't care too much. As long as I can keep you by my side. I don't care too much. We got time, no rush. In your eyes, I always see there is something meant for me. Different.
I am so startled by the CT side that we just saw from Sprout. They were looking stellar. And as for NIP, well...
I'm a little more startled with their T side.
Yeah, yeah, they really are in pajamas because they were sleeping this entire T side.
Oh, dear. They are going to have to do everything here. CT side, they've got that favor, but Harry, at the end of the day, when you have such a dominant first half, a pistol can win the game for Sprout in some senses. If they pick this up, this could be a dominant finish. Will NIP hold strong? Fast nades in towards A. Spitty going to be throwing in that molly, but it is going to be the B player, at least ramp for now for Sprout. They get out, they force NIP down towards that lower bomb site. Plopsky wants nothing to do with this. He's going to completely concede window all the way back to Secret. What a passive round for NIP. I like this though. Sprout are getting aggressive. They are trying to hunt down this kill, and they've got the numbers for it as well. No kill for Plopsky. Double entry from Sprout before the first trade comes back in, and the bomb is down as well. Sprout have every advantage here as the retake is on for NIP. They're stuck in the tunnels.
Oh, Lecro annihilated there with the peek from Searson. It's only Rez to deny the pistol the way of Sprout, and he cannot. It will be the Germans finding that pistol round, going 12-4 up, and putting themselves in such a good spot to take us all 3 maps.
Yeah, Inferno is looking more likely than ever after that pistol win. And what have NIP got to say for it? I mean, probably a force in the second round. You know, some shotguns, some pistols, some armor. Twist has got the scout. One thing that Sprout have been doing well is not conceding these second rounds, not throwing away 2 pistols. Certainly doesn't bode well for the Swedes. And another fast ramp player. You know, I like the calls. Something NIP didn't really ever do on their T side. However, it will work out for Plopsky. He gets 1, can't double it, puts Searson down on 12, but the trade is there, and Sprout are all over this B site once again, planting within, 20-30 seconds of the round beginning. NIP are going to be stuck. Twist can't really get much done with the scout in the retake, but he doesn't have a choice. It's a 4-on-4. Forrest might have the drop on Spitty. Oh, and he does get the shot, but right before Twist gets killed, it's still winnable for Nip. They have a kit on Rez, but Sprout are boxed into the site.
Yeah, they haven't been given really any time to get too set up. They've made the best out of their situation, though, and these 2 players just tucked into the various cubbies, the various hiding holes inside of this site are going to make this very, very tricky for NIP. Yeah. And that's the round. Sprout 13-4. No money left for the Swedes. This might be a pretty fast conclusion, because you're looking at this one, if you're Nip, you give up a 14th, and then you get your first buy. But if you lose that round, it's also your last buy.
Yeah.
And that is just sometimes how the cookie crumbles.
The communication is also starting to look off there. Rez runs into decontamination door in that 2-on-3 and has no idea there's a player at the back of the site, despite Searson being there all round long. Hasn't moved, killed 2 players from that spot, and he doesn't even check it. So
Forrest, by the way, is the top fragger in the server.
Yeah,
he
of course.
is looking
with 4 rounds to his name.
Yeah, so good. And I don't even, you just feel bad for Forrest, like it doesn't seem to matter what happens with this team. He's always the guy. He's always the consistent pillar. He's gone aggressive. Ooh. Not able to find that kill, but gets away with a lot of damage. And at least has softened some of these players up, but
at this point, though, you need those kills.
Plopsky's got a Zeus. Come on, take the Zeus out. Ugh. Yeah.
1 by 1.
It is Lecro. I wonder what happens when he walks into the killing circle. Oh, it's the same as everyone else who walked into the killing circle.
I just wonder, like, if that is your plan, if you do want to do that, why not go in together? NIP just gave 5 1-on-1s or 1 on exit, 1v5s. Yeah, they just gave him 5 1v5s in lobby. Everyone pushing with like at least 5 seconds between each player. It just seems that NIP are out of this game. It seems done, Harry. Not often do we say that, but this is it's looking rough. 14 rounds to Sprout.
And now I remember, right? Like when this series started, I remember the veto graphic was the wrong way round. Well, it might have actually been better if it had been that way. The NIP looked great on Mirage.
Yeah.
And it does just seem to be maybe in these more, you know, strat-dependent, these more kind of mid-roundy maps like Nuke, maps like Vertigo, that we're really seeing them struggle. I wonder if we're going to see it maybe tend just towards the pug stomp maps a little bit more, because it does just seem to be that raw firepower.
Yeah.
You know, players like Forest who can step up every single time, who are making the difference. Another thing to note, by the way, Twist, the man who's at a very, very quiet map, never really saw the AWP on the T side. They were hoping they were going to get to bring it out on the CT side. Well, if you're NIP now, you don't have a CT side, okay? You've got very little time left in this game. If you don't pick this one up, we never get to see that AWP in Twist's hands.
Yeah, that's you've painted a very grim picture, Harry. But it is, in fact, the reality. 14-4, and NIP's last chance saloon here. No kit. The bomb cannot afford to go down. They've got some incendiaries to stop for that fast A play, but Sprout won't be going for it. Smoke's outside. No molly to interrupt them. And will Sprout smokes land? Will they be correct? Because NIPs certainly weren't. And okay, there we go. A molly did manage to stop when a Sprout smoked. NIP do back to Sprout what was done to them constantly in that first half. Regardless, Sprout don't care. They're not going down towards B anyway. It's a quick inner push. Favin's come in from main. Two players completely caught out by the flashbangs, and Favin finds them both. Keto is on a tear with 3. Plopsky lost alive, and it doesn't even matter at this point. The A site has fallen for the Ninjas, and Plopsky, he is on a bit of a mission to try and turn this around. He gets one, but now they know where he is. On top of the hut roof is Spiddy, and he just doesn't want to give away this kill. He doesn't even want to give a chance back into the round, and I love that call from Sprout. Just box it in. 14-4, and you're still playing this sweaty. Plopsky has no avenue to win this round. He has no kill to find.
And that's the thing, if you're Sprout, you're playing this sweaty, not just because you don't want to give NIP any way back in. You know, like we saw yesterday, there were those 10-0 leads, there were those 11-0 leads versus NIP that did come back to be closer games. Yeah. You don't want to give them way back in, but also, you're in their heads, you know? Like, if you're NIP at this point, in that 1v4, you're just hoping that they get confident. And it's not that. You're just getting frustrated at this point in time, because no matter where you look to get back into these rounds, when you've fallen a couple of players down, they're not giving you anything. You've got to be the ones to take it. And NIP, the only thing they might be taking is a long, hard look in the mirror after this one. Double shotgun out between Rez and Plopsky. Twist has the scout outside, and he has tagged up Searson at the very least. So maybe a chance he can find something here.
Oh, that timing shot almost came through. I believed. That AWP is low, but it's all NIP have to show for this round. Forest is taking up position in secret. That means Twist is freed up, rather, with that scout, can go back towards A or ramp. He's come in on Hell. Pretty sizable A defense, though, from Nip, and Sprout not looking to test that. They're going towards ramp. Alligator on the other side, and Twist trying to bait them in. This scout is going to soften up targets, and the shotgun should remove them, but the flashes are good, and the shotgun hasn't got the range. NIP peeking into the holding Sprout, and two-man advantage coming into the ramp room. Lekra even gets smoked off. He can't stop them, and Sprout are just going to double back and try and take over A.
Yeah, I mean, why not, right? There's...
Or not.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
They're
and
not.
There's 2 there right now, so...
It's the right decision. Just on a whim, and it's kept these 2 players here. So now they get ramp control. They drop down into B, and they've only got Forest to worry about. Now, as good as he's looked, effectively alone at this B bomb site in a 1-on-4 right now. Thankfully, Keto isn't here to supplement the defense, but it's not much, right? I'm really looking for silver linings for
15-4, Harry.
Forest to go off of, you know, this living legend. But I'm kind of hamstrung to come up with anything. Forest in control, not of this round, but that is where he is right now. Makes noise, breaking the window. It's out into so many crosshairs, and he's instantly traded. Sprout, they're going to get the victory, 16-4. They make a mockery of NIP on their map pick, and that is a statement if I've ever seen one heading into Inferno. Our deciding third map, NIP, they look to